The first time I heard about the underground tunnel theory, it was from a journalist turned activist who dedicated their life to uncovering what they called the hidden network. They weren't the type to jump at every conspiracy. They had files, news clippings, even satellite imagery. We sat in a dimly lit café, their laptop open to a map marked with red pins, connecting seemingly unrelated locations across the globe. "This isn't just a wild theory," they began. "This is a network, a system, and it's far more sinister than most people are ready to accept." "What kind of network are we talking about?" I asked. "Underground tunnels," they replied, scrolling through photos of nondescript buildings with entrances that at first glance looked ordinary. Storm drains, abandoned warehouses, and even innocuous manholes in busy cities. "These tunnels are used for everything: trafficking humans, smuggling drugs, organ harvesting, even hiding illicit manufacturing facilities." "Wait," I said, leaning in. "You're saying all of that is happening underground?" They nodded. "Think about it. Above ground there are cameras, witnesses, and police patrols. Underground, they're virtually invisible. This isn't just speculation. Take the 2016 case in Los Angeles, where a drug cartel's tunnel running under the U.S.-Mexico border was discovered. It stretched for half a mile and included a railway system. If they can do that for drugs, imagine what else could be transported." I brought up human trafficking, one of the darkest corners of modern crime. "Trafficking is the backbone of this network," they explained. "Underground tunnels allow traffickers to move people without detection. Victims are often transported to locations where they're exploited as sex slaves, forced laborers, or worse, sources for black market organ harvesting." They showed me a news clipping from The Guardian about organ trafficking rings uncovered in India and Kosovo. In 2017, Interpol estimated that the black market for organs is worth billions, but what people don't realize is that tunnels play a key role in keeping these operations hidden. I shuddered. "Are there actual cases linking trafficking to tunnels?" "Absolutely," they said, pulling up a video from a group of citizen investigators. It showed them uncovering a hidden hatch in a wooded area that led to an underground room. While authorities dismissed it as an abandoned bunker, activists argued it was part of a larger trafficking route. "What about the alien part?" I asked, almost hesitantly. They smiled, anticipating my skepticism. "This is where it gets wild. Some believe that these tunnels aren't just human-made. The theory is that certain elite syndicates have access to alien technology, which allows them to construct massive networks quickly and invisibly. Remember the reports of mysterious booms and vibrations people hear with no apparent source? Those are often linked to underground activity, possibly tunneling." "Okay," I said, "but how do aliens tie into trafficking?" "Some believe the elites aren't just trafficking for human clients. There are theories suggesting that extraterrestrials have a vested interest in humans, whether for experimentation, hybrid programs, or even consuming human organs." I was skeptical, but they cited a 1989 interview with Phil Schneider, a controversial figure who claimed to have worked on secret underground bases and encountered non-human entities. "It's far-fetched," they admitted, "but when you see how advanced some of these tunnels are, you start to wonder. The real power," they continued, "is in the syndicates running these networks. We're talking about international elites, billionaires, corrupt officials, and shadowy organizations. They have the money to fund these operations and the influence to cover them up." They mentioned the Epstein case as an example of how powerful people can operate hidden networks. Now imagine that level of coordination, but underground. These aren't isolated incidents, they're interconnected operations. I was speechless. So what can we do? Awareness is the first step, they said firmly. People need to pay attention to their surroundings. If you see something suspicious, like unusual construction activity, random ventilation shafts in remote areas, or abandoned properties with heavy security, report it. And always document what you see. They showed me an online map where activists pinned suspected tunnel locations. Social media is our greatest tool. Share your findings, connect with others, use hashtags to make this information visible. And authorities? I asked. Sometimes they help, sometimes they don't, they said grimly. That's why citizen action is so important. We can't rely solely on official channels, especially when corruption runs deep. But pressure from the public can force investigations. Before we ended, they shared stories of hope. A group in Arizona uncovered a tunnel used for trafficking and forced local law enforcement to investigate. Activists in Europe used drones to track suspicious movements near abandoned factories, leading to the discovery of a drug lab. Grassroots organizations are training volunteers to identify and report signs of trafficking. Final thoughts. As we wrapped up, they left me with this. The tunnels are real, the trafficking is real, and the fight is real. The question is, what are you going to do about it? What do you think? Are we ready to uncover what's hiding beneath our feet?